Ooh, got some fighting here. Yeah. Are you gonna beat me up, Matthew? Are you gonna beat me up?
Hey, what's up guys? This is Matthew coming at you guys for another video. And in this video, I want to talk about never giving up on yourself and never giving up in life, period. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I have seen a lot of people in my short lifetime give up on themselves, and I have seen them do things that really, if I knew that they really were motivated and had the desire to get to where they believe that they want to get to, they would have done different things. When I realized this, I was about 16 years old, and I took a trip down south. I'm not gonna say what state or what city, but I took a trip down south, and when I was going to see some relatives, I saw just the area around them, and I saw that things weren't really the best, and that a lot of people had different mentality than, say, in the neighborhood that I'm living in right now. And I noticed that they were just doing things that was just basically really showed that they just didn't feel good about themselves. They didn't feel like they could really help themselves or help people around themselves for their situation. And it really had an effect on me because I had to realize I didn't want to be in that situation. And I didn't want to do those type of things like how other people that I saw was doing. And it always stuck with me because I saw things where it wouldn't happen necessarily in this neighborhood as much as it would down there, but it really just had an effect on me, and I still think about this to my life at this point right now. And to be quite honest, I do see people around me who give up on themselves, or people who I just met, whether it be through school, whether it be through basically sports or whatever, that basically they gave up on themselves. And I feel like that's just a thing that goes around no matter what city you're in, no matter what state, country, continent, whatever. You're always going to have people that give up on themselves. Why? I don't know the situations and what goes on, but what I mostly see is that they don't really have a lot of support, and that they just basically put the rest whatever they were trying to do for their goals and whatnot. And that's just a weird thing that happens a lot. And I see that happen more than I see people actually having support and actually trying to help others rise up to their situation. I see more people actually trying to bring other people down than actually help others. So when I see someone that actually wants to help somebody, I actually look at that person differently because I see that they're not really thinking the same way that I see a lot of people think. And I'm not saying that that other people think like this, but a lot of people do think like this that I've been around and that I have seen so far in my short lifetime. And it is something that sticks out to me. And so when I see someone like that, I want to really understand what's their goals and what their ambition is, because that's not something that I usually see all the time. Because I feel like in my life, I had examples where I had to decide that I'm not going to give up on myself, and that I actually had to go along with what I needed to do to get to where I wanted to get to at that moment in time. No matter what things go wrong and how bad things are, and sometimes that could be doing things that you really don't feel like doing and that you don't want to do, but you just have to do it no matter what. And if people don't really like what you're doing, then you can't just give up on yourself. You basically have to really just go out and do what you gotta do. And also just another thing is that, like I said, I've seen a lot of people basically just give up on themselves. And I saw that it was either financially or stability also going along with the lack of support that they had, that where they weren't really feeling so good about themselves at that moment, so they just gave up on everything that they were doing and took the whatever the easy way route was at that moment in time for them. And that's something that I feel like that's just going to happen in life. You're always going to have difficult things going on, and you're always going to have people that won't support you the way that you feel like they should support you, or the way that you really want them to support you. but that's just how things work. And I'm here to tell people that that's things that's just gonna happen in life. And I seen that from when I was in high school, from when I was in college, even back when I was a little kid in elementary school, I seen things like that happen also. And just another thing, just the times that we're in during with COVID, just the racial profiling that's really took in storm because it's always shown on the media right now. It always happened, but it's just shown on the media right now in this moment of time that people are just feeling like, man, I should just give up on myself. No, you shouldn't give up on yourself. You should basically go out and do what you want to do. And even though you got obstacles in your life, because everyone got obstacles in their life, it's just basically you just need to really stop and do what you got to do to get to those moments or to those results that you want. And whether or not it's going to be a hard road, whether or not it's going to take some years, you got to go out there and you got to get it. And you got to grind. You got to do what you got to do. If you don't know what to do, you got to watch people that's in the position that you want to be in, and you got to say, dang, what was the steps that he took? What I realize also is that a lot of people look at other people and that they see that, man, he's there. I can't get there because he's just lucky. He's just doing this. No, they had obstacles in their life. Basically, things happened in their life that really kind of took them down and that made them kind of say like, man, I don't know if I can do this, but they got up and they got back to what they were doing anyway. And I learned that from basically different people that's been in my life that helped me through difficult times in my life, whether it's been people who knew about me from when I was a little kid, who knew about me from when I was in school, and who knew about me from outside situations. And I just always thank them for that because they instilled like a mindset in me that made me feel like, man, I really cannot give up on myself. And one of this, basically, they became role models to me, and they became basically people who I really do look up to. And I feel like when you're in times of need, that's when things are going to really shape who you are, and it's going to make you have a more realistic outpoint on life and how things are going to go for you. And what I mean by that is that when you are down, you're going to realize that there's not a lot of people that's going to be there when you're up or when you feel like you're up, and things are just going to be more difficult. And when you go through those type of things, you're going to look at things a whole lot more different. I've been through certain type of things where I felt like, man, a lot of people ain't really there for me right at this moment in time. Man, I'm basically on my own, and there was a couple people who was there for me, who was solid, and throughout those times, I really kept a good relationship with them, and I just felt like, man, I just appreciate that you guys were just there for me just to help me out. And I just always would thank them no matter what. And I really just am grateful that I had those experiences because I realized that not a lot of people have those type of experiences. And I mean experiences where people were really actually there for them at that moment in time and helped them out. And that's a good thing that if you had that. Now if you don't have that, I'm sorry to say that that's a tough situation to be in, but you can't really give up on yourself just because things happen to you that was just bad and you don't really have any support at that moment. And you gotta go out there and you gotta grind and you gotta get out the mud, you gotta hustle, whatever term you want to say. If it means hard work and getting through what you gotta get through, that's what you got to do. I had people who really didn't like me, who really didn't want anything to do with me, not for any specific type of reason that made them dislike me for any type of reason. But I knew that I had to go and do what I had to do because I basically wanted to get to my end result and get to my goal. And it took a while for things to get to where I wanted to get to in that moment of time in my life, but I got to it because I had to work harder than what I was used to, and I had to basically go and step up everything that I was doing, whether it was basically working on homework, whether it was practicing on my own and practicing with the team, and whether it was basically always having to dedicate myself mentally to what I was doing. And that's basically how I see life so far in this point of my life, is that you have to basically go out there and basically do what you got to do, and you have to mentally be in it, or it's not going to work. You have to physically be in it, or it's not going to work. And what I mean by mentally is have the mindset that you're going to basically get through whatever you got to get through to get to the end result, and you basically have to do all that. And physically, what I mean is you have to put in the hard work physically to get to where you want to get to. And if you're not doing both those things, you're not going to get to where you want to get to. And sometimes you may have to do things that you don't want to do, whether that means even work even harder than what you've been working harder. If you've been working harder and then you see the results are not really going anywhere, or you're not getting the results that you want, you gotta go even extra harder. And you have to find different situations. You have to find different, you have to be creative on how to get to where you want to get to. Whether it could be a sport, whether it could be a type of school or whatever, you gotta find different situations. And you can't give up on yourself. There's been a lot of people who have basically tried to downplay me and say that I wasn't good enough for whatever reason in different situations. And those people are basically, they fade away. They fade away in life and they'll just go away and go on to basically try to doubt someone else, and that's just the way life is that I see. I'm still young, so I don't really know everything, but that's the certain pattern that I've been noticing throughout my life so far, even when I was a little kid, all the way up to how old I am now. And thank you for watching.